We are live and direct here, and will continue to sensitize the masses of the happenings within the Nigerian social political events. And today is Sunday, of course, the 1st of October 2023. That we Nigerians are celebrating, of course, the independence of their nation from the colonial masters, the British colonial masters. And we are here to discuss, of course, and react to the development of these very frantic issues here. Wow, it is very interesting. Thank you, Wachineke. You can see what is going on, and people are trying to make themselves happy, not withstanding whatever might be going through. Yes, this is quite exciting, and we're here to deliberate on some pertinent issues, which, of course, everyone must be interested here today. And I tell you, you will be so excited to hear certain revelations about the Nigerian state and the unfolding realities of our time. According to the great man of God and the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, in his independent message to his audience, of course, said that we are not yet free. But we, he is referring to his churches, of course, which are part of Nigerian citizens, and at large Nigeria as a nation, that we cannot be free and yet hungry and haggard. Well, we are here this morning to discuss these pertinent issues, and away from that, of course, know what to do as a people. Indeed, how far we have gone as a people and a country. I want to invite, of course, one of the analysts here who is going to discuss and analyze the statement from this great man of God. He has been a very, of course, a resource person and a force to reckon with in the history of Nigeria and Christianity at large. No other person but Pastor Papa ADEBOYE is my spiritual father. He said that we are not yet free because a country can't claim to be independent if their own masses are still, or population are still hungry. You can't claim to be independent to some extent, because independence simply means that you have something to show for it, and the evidence is not there. Well, with me here is Comrade Ambassador Chinedu. You are welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers.
Yes, from the statement submission of the man of God and the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, in his independent message today, said that for you to be free, of course, you must be free indeed. So attaining independence without nothing to show for it, to a significant extent, shows that there are areas that one is still under bondage.
Nigeria has been pushed into a very very bad shape by the last few months. We have seen Nigerians go through hell. We have seen a government that has no direction on how to navigate Nigeria to at least a certain level of economic understanding and tolerance. But as it is now, I think the man of God is trying to speak truth to power by saying exactly what the situation is, what the environment is, how harsh Nigeria has been going through certain unbearable conditions economically because of the kind of leadership we have been experiencing in the past 3-4 months now. It's nothing to write home about. So I give kudos to the man of God who has come out to say we are not actually free. The General Overseer of Redeemed Christian Church of God Pastor Adeboye. It's okay. What he said is a reality. Today is 1st October. Nigeria is about or less than, let me just put it that way, 63 years old. You know, that's the nation we are talking about. A nation that has moved 200 times backward since the last 3 months that Tinubu came to power. We have seen things went very badly. I don't know how what he did to Nigerian economy that has continued to deteriorate to the level whereby we can no longer we hardly see even 100 naira on the streets. We hardly see anything to afford that we can afford with 100 naira. So that is how bad the situation is. And what the general overseer is not far from the truth. That's the fact. Nigeria is not free, and Nigeria has been held hostage for the past years by bad leadership. And it is a welcome development that is saying such, making such statement. Today Nigeria is 63. Look at the background of this interview. You know, viewers from all over the world, wherever you are, just check out the background. It's just like I think we'll find it very happy coming here to, you know, to pinpoint certain things. We feel very uncomfortable about the government, what government is doing. No, but we needed to see these guys, you know, have prospects for good change and development, and we have not been experiencing it. So we need to continue to shout. We need to continue to explain, you know, to make the people know that this is actually the situation of things in Nigeria. It's not everybody, it's not every Nigerian. Our mothers who are in the farmland in the village, you know, going through a lot. Some states, some villages, they are there, no country, have no access to good road, not to talk of good water. They are there, they don't know who to talk to, they don't know who to speak to. And Nigeria is 63 today. Look at the background of this interview. Just look around, viewers. Just point one vehicle, either commercial, private, okada, keke users or riders who are mounting Nigerian flag on top of their vehicle. Observe that. Observe that. Nigeria is losing it. Completely is losing it. The citizens are losing trust on the project called Nigeria.
Because before now, about a decade ago, you will see people moving with Nigerian flag, today's independence, and some cars mounting the flag. I think you are right. I've just observed that. I can't see any vehicle having the Nigerian flag. Of course, as a symbol of nationality and having confidence in the system. Now, of course, the man of God went further to say that you must know the truth. It's only the truth that can set you free. And the truth about Nigeria is that not just this current dispensation, the rot has been there, of course, and the unfortunate thing is that we are getting more deeper into the rot, and it's rather unfortunate. The cancer is spreading almost the entire body, and the build-up is nothing to desire about. Now, what is the truth about the country Nigeria that we must know before the freedom indeed will come?
Well, the situation now is that in a situation where we don't know where to start from, but the problem is that Nigeria has failed to do justice to herself, and because Nigeria has failed to do justice to herself, everything that has to do with progress, you know, development, you know, advancement has been a matter of, you know, injustice. You know, they have been carrying. Nigeria has never worked. We need to, if actually they mean well for Nigeria, we need to really negotiate Nigeria. Nigeria needs to be renegotiated genuinely. If these guys, they call themselves leaders, of course most of us does not believe them. They are, like I always say, they are business politicians. You know, they are not interested in anything. They are not interested in developing anything. They are not even interested in trying to make sure that at least infrastructure wise, politically, economically, Nigeria, you know, is at a certain height where people can see, yes, okay, I think we can move on from there. Nigeria has never put anything down since 1960 that shows that they are ready as a nation or as a country. Good luck, Ebele Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria, a few weeks ago made a reference to that statement too, that Nigeria is a complete fraud. And that is what we have been saying. Until they sit down, it's not until they sit down and do what they are supposed to do. Move away from wickedness, nepotism, injustice, lawlessness, nepotism, missightedness in appointment, in government appointment and political appointment. Then we will begin to see how things will work out. But if Nigerian leaders continue to pretend as if they don't know that things are going wrong, then we will continue to move very close to disintegration, moving very close to the end of the Nigerian project. As I'm talking to you now, the people that make Nigeria work are the citizens, are the masses. Without the masses, there's no Nigeria. And the masses today have lost interest in the project called Nigeria because of bad leadership. So where are you heading to? Very certain. If I will tell you, it's not a matter of uncertainty. If you ask me where Nigeria is heading to at the moment, Nigeria is heading towards the graveyard. And if care is not taken, we might bury Nigeria in just no time. That is just the truth.
That is one of the truths we are here to, of course, analyze and digest the Nigerian as a person and an entity, and how far Nigeria has gone, and what brought us here. You have been able to express, of course, one of the reasons why Nigeria is where it is. There is no deliberate and conscious attempt by the supposed leaders to chart a way forward and better the lot of our citizens and the welfare of all assembly within the Nigerian state. Yes, that is the truth we must know about the Nigeria. Not until we get to know this truth, we are not free indeed. And another point he raised is that in his message, of course, for this independence is that how can you be independent and at the same time hungry? Well, you see, I think that's a very good analysis in what Nigeria has become today. Nigeria on the streets, currently on the streets, even the pressure is coming to the so-called rich men. They have domestic servants now. Those domestic servants, do they go to market? They also go to market where ordinary man go to still buy the same thing. The rich men, they also eat rice. They buy crayfish. They buy tomatoes and pepper. They buy also salt. So if your budget per week is 1 million naira, and your domestic staff is telling you that Oga, 1 million naira can no longer take care of this family for 1 week. What can take care of this family for 1 week is 2, 3, 4 million naira now. Wouldn't you suspect that something is wrong somewhere? So the rich men also are feeling the pressure, talk less of the ordinary man who lives on 100 naira, 200 naira every day. 100 naira, 200 naira every blessed day. Some people find it difficult to come by. I'm telling you. And at the end of the day, I still remember that few years ago, you can still manage to have a bread of 100 naira on the street and maybe just stay in one corner and have your beans and bread and 100 naira and still have your water and off you go. But this time around, there's no bread 200 naira, there's no bread. Just 1,000, before you can have bread, you must have at least 1,000 naira, 1,200 in less than 3 months. What is happening? It means that somebody that is hungry can never be independent. Somebody that is hungry and of course not just hungry but not even having any better prospect in sight, honestly. And I've listened to one of the past governors of Ogun State, Olusegun Obasa. He said in his submission that Nigeria will rise again. Possibly, where do we fall? Because if you don't know where you fell, you might not know when to rise and when possibly you have risen and the signs that you have risen. You see, for him to make such submission that Nigeria will rise again, it means there is something fundamentally wrong about the Nigerian system. Being a former serving governor of Ogun State, making such submission is very weighty, very heavy. And also, Emeka Anyoko, Chief Emeka Anyoko of the Commonwealth, former Commonwealth Secretary, said that Nigeria should live to the reality of her destiny of becoming the great black race in the world that will chart another way for the entire African race. But unfortunately, we are not there. Then, for this great man speaking in proverb, such using these proverbial statements on Nigeria shows that something is needed to be fixed and very urgent. What can you tell concerning those statements?
Yes, Nigeria is in intensive care. Nigeria is in coma. Nigeria is is being oxygenated as I'm talking to you. So those words are just injections, being given to Nigeria to see if Nigeria can revive. There's nothing wrong with being hopeful. That's what the governor is talking about. Nigeria will rise again. To the respected and renowned world international diplomat, Chief Emeka Anyoko, I've once met with him. A very humble man. He shared his experience, what he went through, trying to save Nigeria from collapse under General Abacha as at that time.
Yes.
And he said a lot of things. He's a man I respect, and I want to buy into his view. That view, I see it as trying to give antibiotics to injection to Nigeria that is already in coma. Hopefully that Nigeria will stand up and take its right place in trying to find her destiny. So on that note, anyway, let me just say here is this. For the fact that a lot of people believed that they are Nigerians, but they don't know what makes them Nigerians. They need to find out what makes them Nigerians. If you ask an average person now, you say, I am in Nigeria. Ask him, what makes him Nigeria? And what is Nigeria? What is the meaning of Nigeria? How can you connect Nigeria as a name to your destiny? A lot of people may not be able to answer that question. All they believe is that I am in Nigeria, and they don't know what Nigeria stood for, and they know how they connect their own destiny to Nigeria. The best thing to do, as I keep on saying it, which the former president of Nigeria tried to do before, let's say Bele Goodluck Jonathan, a man, till today I still respect Jonathan in some certain things he did, especially trying to bring that national unity back, by trying to organize a conference as at that time. But unfortunately, the same forces that called Jonathan Voodoo, have come to that called Jonathan's administration Voodoo as at that time. Would they stand up now and hit their chest that yes, since they destroyed the voodoo economy they are talking about, they are now trying to make a juju economy for Nigerians that are working. So let Nigerians judge. So these things have keep on happening over and over again, and Nigerians, especially the youth, are coming to that consciousness that likely there might be an alternative to this project called Nigeria, and they are beginning to have, throw testers backward, trying to sit back and watch what is the problem with Nigeria. And the problem is not far-fetched. The problem is that a certain forces that does not want Nigerians to be in nationalism. Yes, let me put it, to have that nationalism spirit, are deeply working against it. And some people will come out and tell you that they are fighting corruption. Watch them on TV when they come out. They say we are fighting corruption. What these governors, these guys, these senators that say they are fighting corruption. A clear example of their personality is during COVID-19, where some of these senators and governors went and did palliatives, met for ordinary people on the street inside forests.
So citizens, besides just using our,
I'm telling you, they will still come out and say that they're fighting corruption.
Why people
so that's why when I look at somebody like Shehu Kuti, when he said that His father believed in people's movement. The late fella Anikulapo Akuti, the legend himself. Fela never believed in Nigeria. You, those that are calling that saying that Nigeria is going to war are just merely saying it, trying to inject a dead lion.
Now, the same statement was made by the current president, is it around 1993, that he did not believe in the Nigerian project, possibly because of the intimidations and subjugations he also experienced those times when he was more younger. You see, that led to that statement that he didn't believe in one Nigeria. But fortunately, unfortunately, he happens to be the sitting president, the 16th president of Nigeria today. A man who once said he never believed in Nigeria.
Yes, so, yes, Bola Ahmed Tinubu said it, basically because of his affiliation with Abiola's camp as at that time, and the fact that what was done to Abiola was pure injustice. And that was why he made that statement in that regard. That's the clear truth. You understand? But for me to say that Tinubu believes in Nigeria, does not believe in Nigeria in that time, well, is a complete. I'm not being truthful to myself, because even as at that time, Tinubu also has been benefiting from Nigeria. He has worked in people believe he has worked in Mobile. All these things are part. He has benefited. He worked. He was all over the place with Abiola, and all that, moving from one place to another. You understand? And I believe that it was he leveraged on Abiola's relationship, to be able to destroy Nadeko that time, and became the governor of Lagos State as at that time, even though we did not see much from that angle. But notwithstanding, that's how our Nigerian leaders are. They're not philosophical, in their doings. They don't believe in truth. They don't have personal conviction about it. None of them. That's why every governor, everyone that comes, will see unity of Nigeria, and say Nigeria is not in unity.
That brings a very fundamental question. Nigeria at 63. You must know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Can there be unity without equity, fairness, inclusion, of course, in the affairs of this country, and justice? People who are calling for unity, you are just hammering on unity, neglecting fairness, equity, justice, and inclusion. How could that unity be fostered?
That's exactly what led to the Nigerian Biafran War. When some certain part of the country started projecting that it was an Igbo coup, whereas it was not an Igbo thing, it was pure a military thing. But they were able to demarcate that military coup to reduce it to an Igbo coup. That was an injustice done to the Igbo tribe in this country, and that injustice. We saw Buhari overthrew a sitting. They didn't say it was a northern coup. Did anybody come and say it's a northern coup? We saw Babangida overthrow. Nobody came and said it's a northern coup. But when the woman did his own, they said it's an Igbo coup. And that was the propaganda. And he didn't do that in isolation. Yes, that was the propaganda that, of course, led to the Nigerian Biafran War. And Nigeria have taken that part to mean unity. Nigeria have taken injustice to mean unity. Nigeria have taken nepotism to mean unity. Nigeria have taken favoritism to mean unity. Nigeria have taken wickedness, reservations against certain part of this country to mean unity. But of course, that's the same consciousness that played out recently in February 2023 presidential election, where Peter Obi won in Lagos State and Abuja. What does that tell you? It tells you that this generation of Nigerians, especially the youth, are gradually moving away from the Nigerian project, trying to fight for their own destiny. That's what it means. And because that Tinubu himself, who also supposed to know the truth and stand on the side of justice, felt otherwise. The Wike also felt otherwise. The Southwest has produced president before. Now they are telling you, it's a matter of political district. But they want to see, they also how the Igbos voted for Abiola. But when you get to Obasanjo, but when you get to an Igbo man, they will not begin to look at it and say, what is a miracle? Is a miracle a political theory? Has it been established? It has never been established anywhere in the world. You understand what I'm saying? It has never been established anywhere in the world. But look at it now. Thank God, the Chicago, the court has ordered Chicago University to release Tinubu's academic results. Now, Chicago now, look at what is happening now. Chicago has agreed to release everything that has to do with Tinubu's academic records. Exactly. And once it comes out, we are now going to see whether Tinubu is justified to be in that position he is today or not. Look at him now. I know when Tinubu said that Jonathan's subsidy policy is voodoo. It's really economy. Tinubu said it. But today, they have handed over the economy of Nigeria to you. On a good note, Nigerians wanted something better from Buhari, but look at what Tinubu has shown complete incompetence in all areas, military, economy. So everything about Nigeria has virtually gone down in less than 4 months. I think his Nigerians are beginning to see actually that Tinubu is not even qualified to be a local government chairman, talk less of being a president or a governor in that regard, from what we are seeing so far. Now, coming to Chicago University. Before that Chicago University, there have been some opinion or school of thought that the founding fathers were not honest. You see, they were driven by their personal quest for self-accomplishment and ego. So they didn't build a system that will foster unity, prosperity for all and sundry. They only there to protect their personal and selfish drives. And that is what led to what Nigeria is today. So you can see that the foundation was wrong in the first instance. And that is people's successive individuals keep on building on that false foundation. And no matter how long it takes you to continue to build on the path of error, you might not get it right. So there is need to revisit that foundation. That was what, when you listen to somebody like Gani Adams, Gani Adams, for me, Gani Adams, I respect Gani Adams. You know why I respect Gani Adams? When they asked Gani Adams, what type of restructuring are you talking about in Nigeria? You know what he told them? He said, restructuring with region or restructuring with states. That's what Gani Adams said. I was at the Excellence Hotel the last June 12th anniversary. I saw the kind of speech that was at the Adams made. Do you know what he said? By the time we started pushing people, leaders like that, to produce senators, state assembly members, local government chairmen, we begin to see innovations, political innovations, changes in that regard. Will they be corrupt? No, will they be corrupted by the same powers? They will not. You know what I'm saying? They will not. So let us move away from this circle of people a bit. You understand? No, I want to know Azikile, Tafawa Balewa, whatever they call themselves, that claim they are founding fathers of Nigeria. They are not sincere. They messed up the entire country. Two of them. They are not sincere, and even at a point they were supposed to come together if they actually mean well to lay a solid foundation for the most populous black nation in the world. They failed. Let me tell you how they failed. Let me tell you, there's a man they call Herbert Macaulay. Yes. if you listen to what Robert Macaulay did and what Azikiwe did at a certain point as a nationalist, as an Africanist, and Awolowo came in between. Awolowo took over the Nigerian youth movement that started the agitation for independence.
But can you just pause a while? I wanted this guy to. He said he's in a haze. He wants to boss out something. No, we can continue after that. Sorry, Esteem fans. We just want to take a break while we have Yoruba. Okay, just in 2 minutes. Okay. This is Nigerians' independence. And are you happy with the system, or what do you think?
I'm really happy that we are being independent today. But what I can say is that let me speak Yoruba.
Okay, you're free to speak Yoruba.
Ṣé independence yìí inú mi dùn gan pé Nàìjíríà ṣe ọdún òmìnira but Tinubu tá a dìbò fún I want you to mo fẹ́ kẹ́ gbé mi sórí ayé kan rí mi Tinubu owó wa tọ́jú ọmọ Yorùbá gan ní Nàìjíríà inú wa dùn láti sọ pé Tinubu ló kó lọ ṣe fún wa but Tinubu dẹ̀ ń wò yẹn kẹ́ ń wò yẹn bàbá ló jẹ́ fún gbogbo wa o but kò tí ì gbé tọ̀pù tá a fẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ kò tí ì ní ọkọ̀ ṣe tàbí tọ̀pù lóòótọ́ a máa ní sùúrù kó fi ṣe dáadáa ló ti yẹ yín ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tó kóra tó kó sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ wọn báwo náà ṣe ń ṣe kò ń ṣe báwọn àwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe ṣe lélẹ̀ ká ní mẹ́rin ṣe àwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ Akíntọ́lá gbogbo àsìkò tẹ́wọ́n kó mẹ́rin ṣe lélẹ̀ yìí Nàìjíríà padà jù báyìí lọ́dà Tinubu ò wò pé àwọn kan ṣe àwọn tó ń sọ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àwọn náà ló ń kó ọ̀rá padà tó ń ṣe máa ń ṣe which is totally bad kò ń sàwọn ọgbẹ wàá wọ èèyàn tó dáa àwọn tẹ́ẹ̀jọ wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ó ṣe kọmíṣánná ó ṣe gọ́fúnọ̀ kọmíṣánná rẹ̀ ilé mú ọ̀ra ẹ̀sẹ̀ ilé mú ọ̀ra kò ń sàwọn yẹn o kí Tinubu lọ wo ìpìlẹ̀ báwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe ń ṣe ó fi lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ Ìbàdàn mo ti wá sí kùbáyì ṣẹ́fṣà Ìbàdàn mo lọ láì sí Awólọ́wọ̀ ọmọ Ògùn state ẹ wọ Ọ̀yọ́ state tẹ́ ẹ pé ńgbà yẹn òun ni wọ́n ṣe western region wọ́n ṣe lẹ́kọ̀tà gbogbo tó ṣe Ọ̀yọ́ state àti gọ́fúnọ̀ tó ṣe tó lè tọ́ àwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ láyé adékòkò house ṣẹ́fṣà
confam
kòkó house wà
free education
ní èjì wà ṣẹ́fṣà ní Ọ̀yọ́ state ni o
built it.
Our first in the Ọ̀yọ́ state a ní premier hotel Chester Ìbàdàn which is the product of Awólọ́wọ̀ tí o gbowó ṣe gbà yẹn but àwọn tá a wá wà ẹsìn kí láǹfààní àwọn Tinubu tá a fẹ́ rí àǹfààní àwọn Tinubu wọn.
What have we done for even the West?
àǹfààní àwọn Tinubu kọ́ Tinubu náà ronú ààrẹ wa ni lọ́wọ́ yìí ọ̀wà ló jẹ́ fún wa bàbá wa ni ààrẹ wọn ni kọ́ ronú pé kí ló lè ṣe fún wa káwọn gbọ́mọ̀ fún máa dé akọ wọn lọ́jọ́ iwájú àti ìrìn kọ̀ọ̀kan epo ti wó ìrẹsì ti wó bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wọ̀nyí kí Tinubu tó dé rẹ̀ wọ́n ń ta ráìsì ní 130 naira for now it's now 200 naira so yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ àbá yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà 200 naira wọ́n ta ráìsì báyìí ẹ pé lóòótọ́ Tinubu sọ pé òun kọ́ lòun yọ subsidy Buhari ti yọ olùtọ́dé ṣùgbọ́n still Tinubu promise wa mo ní campaign wọn mo lórí fóònù tí mo store tó sọ fún wa yìí pé àwọn epo máa wálẹ̀ epo ọ̀wálẹ̀ epo ń lọ sókè ní kọ́ bá wa ṣe dáadáa gbogbo ayé la máa jẹ́yàn Nàìjíríà la wà èmi náà kàwé I'm a graduate Tinubu graduate ni kò sí ọ̀kọ́ la fi ń ṣe òṣèlú ju pé àjọ kàwé lọ bàbá kí ó máa gbọ́n táwọn sọ àwọn náà ṣe dáadáa fún wa níta fẹ́ nìyẹn o Ọlọ́run ó dẹ̀ fún wọn ṣe Amẹ́ríkà every day tó bá jẹ́ Amẹ́ríkà àwọn ìbọn àtàwọn àmì ẹ̀mí ò tí ì lọ rí o àwọn sọ pé God bless America lágbára Ọlọ́run God bless Nigeria.
Just as you can see, I am surprised you are not with the Nigerian flag. And it's a contest. If you can see a Nigerian flag in any motor, bicycle, green, white, green, you will get 1,000 naira from me. But if you don't see, then you have to give me $1,000. It's a contest. Please be watching all this while.
I have one thing about Nigeria. You have to give But I've told you that I'm Nigeria. So the flag of Nigeria is with me. It's inside me.
It's inside me.
Exactly. So I can't lie for you, my brother. Tinubu must do what we are want. I want Tinubu to do for us.
What do you want him to do? Apart from that, do you think it's possible
to reduce the fair price in Nigeria? Tinubu told us that he will build the refinery for us.
Okay, that's a promise.
Exactly. That's the promise. We have almost 3 refineries in Nigeria. But you know what? Tinubu come. But now Tinubu is coming. We want even only one. That one, if you do that one, then to Dangote one, Nigeria will be free to do what I want. Right?
You mean we are not yet free as independent that we ought to be?
Exactly. When Tinubu want us to do independent without no free, we are not in freedom. So I want Tinubu to do what you want for us. We are Nigeria.
I hope Tinubu and his heads are hearing the masses who are calling for a better governance for all, and at least to put food on the table of Nigerians. Okay. Nigerians are hungry today, and maybe that's it. It's not touching you. You are looking sweet. What is the secret?
I'm not any good.
Sorry?
I'm a businessman.
Okay.
I'm selling clothes.
So how has that affected your business?
I'm from Badon. I'm not like the international market from Badon. I'm selling clothes like this is what I'm selling. These materials I'm selling. I can't lie for you. Since last week Saturday, I didn't sell anything. But if not my brother that do that party for Lagos here, I will not come. But I know that I want to come because of my brother. I only should borrow money from my neighborhood. That's why I come here. So I want Tinubu to reduce everything for us in Nigeria, to let our economy be well. We want Nigeria economy to be well. Nigeria, the cabals allow him. They say that there are cabals everywhere. We have already hear about cabal. That one has a Buhari time. But now we have Tinubu. Tinubu already told us that there will not be any cabal in his government.
So we have to blame him if he refuses to do.
That's the one way. I say exactly. We don't want any cabal now. I want Tinubu.
No,
we Nigeria, not me only. We Nigeria want Tinubu to do very well for us. We want Tinubu to be perform well. Tinubu is a Lagosian, right? Tinubu is a Lagosian. We want Tinubu to do very well, even especially Yoruba. We want Tinubu to do very well for Yoruba. Yes.
So now affect even those in the
exactly. And we are praying and pray. We are praying. Not only we are praying that we will succeed in the name of Jesus, the Father, the Son, and Almighty. We want Tinubu to succeed in Nigeria, and Nigeria is go higher. So what we want from that our government now is that to be free, everyone, peaceful. So I pray Nigeria will be well. You will be well. Everybody will be okay in the name of Jesus.
I say amen to that, and thank you very much for your submissions.
All right.
You have a wonderful day, and I wish you the safe journey back to Ibadan line. Any moment you intend to take your leave. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is Conwave TV, and we have back. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have your blessing. Yes, we have esteemed comrade again. We allowed him so that he can express himself before leaving. This is Conwave TV, where everyone has the right and opportunity to express his or herself concerning matters bordering on his existence and, of course, Nigerian state where he resides or, of course, enjoys the citizenship. Yes, back to what we are discussing about the founding fathers. Awolowo, you said Awolowo, Zig, and Tafawa Balewa needed to have sacrificed their own selfish pursuits in the interest of building nationhood, but they failed when it matters most.
Yes, I think the former president make it very clear that our founding fathers did not take into consideration a nation like Nigeria before coming together to
Okay, go ahead.
the name of did not sit out to come together to decide and agree, amicably, friendly, on how to come together as two different entities to build a nation like Nigeria. At a point, the disagreement sets in. I wanted to take you a rundown of what actually transpired to tell you that these guys, I don't actually know whether they were sincere in the project called Nigeria. With reference to Herbert Macaulay himself, and as at that time,
What designed that? Is it the coat of arm or the green white green?
no, I think it was one of the political force, who has established a vast political network, a school of thought, as at that time, that accommodates the like of political elements led by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe as at that time. So Nnamdi Azikiwe came in and became a very close associate of Macaulay, and from there Nnamdi Azikiwe formed a movement called Nigerian Youth Movement. It was this Nigerian Youth Movement that started pushing for independence of Nigeria and of course independence of states in Africa. With the likes of the Ghana man there, Kwame Nkrumah. Then somewhere along the line, they came very close to achieving success, and Awolowo came in and became the youth leader of that political Nigerian youth movement. You see where Awolowo came in now. Awolowo became the youth leader of that movement as at that time.
Yeah.
You understand? So because of things were not properly done and certain influence, somewhere along the line they started having misunderstanding, and that was what led to certain decisions being taken by them respectively instead of collectively. So that was to give you an idea of where things begin to, take different shapes and different ideology begins to come in. Yes, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe who was the president then and the chairman of that movement was a capitalist, and the other guy was a socialist. Then the other guy was coming in from the feudal angle, which is a Tafa Balewa. You can see how these three ideologies, started clashing on time, and of course that was what led to the coup. Because what was running them was welfareism. The coup plotters wanted a welfare system in Nigeria. That would have favored Awolowo as at that time, as against the capitalist theory. Yeah. So, but somewhere along the line, the media started projecting that coup to be an Igbo coup instead of saying that this is purely a military thing. I want you to understand that. So from there, it led to so many misunderstanding, and then an identity was given to Igbos, and that identity is what we come to know to be Biafra today, which every Igbo man is proud of. You see, Biafra is a necessity. They say necessity is the mother of invention. That necessity came, and identity was given to people from the old East Central State, and those East Central State is called Biafra. So somewhere, what I'm trying to say that somewhere along the line, the founding fathers were not able to build that unity,
cohesiveness.
Yes, as to lay that foundation and let people, started building from there. You understand? So that that division started from there. You understand? And unfortunately, to a certain level, a certain part of this country started championing tribalism. A certain part were saying nationalism, and a certain part was saying feudalism. So on the process of trying to bring these three different ideologies to a central point collapsed. And that led to what we have today as what led to the war. And since after the war, the Nigerian system has refused politically to sit down and negotiate the Igbo nation, the Biafran nation into power. And that is why up to today Nigeria has been carrying injustice, and anything Nigeria does is purely injustice. Look at the electricity. Nigeria cannot solve the problem of electricity. The economy, Nigeria cannot solve it. Everything that has to do with Nigeria, they cannot even solve one aspect of the sector of the country, because Nigeria has become injustice. And that's what Jonathan was trying to say last few weeks. And that was what Jonathan was trying to correct
in 2014.
In 2014 confab. But a lot of people, I said it here, let us embrace it. They are very, very, the Yoruba Pan-African cultural group embraced it. But at the end of the day, they fought that national confab to stand still. And what are we seeing today? The trend continues. Are they going to blame? They are going to look at those who has been in position of power for over 60 years, 60-something years. Nigeria has been in problem for 60-something years.
Unfortunately, Zeke is dead, is no more alive. Awolowo has gone. Has done his assessment.
Yes.
Papa Balewa is no more.
So do you see continue to blame the dead? Let me tell you. Their labor is in vain.
And they rightly said the labor of our heroes shall never be in vain. But unfortunately, it is becoming more clearer that their labor was a mere effort in futility.
Of course, your labor, that's what you see. Now, nobody is saying, so help me God. So help me God. That's what everybody is saying now. So help me God. Because Nigeria have refused to embrace justice. It's a very simple thing to do. In 2023 presidential election, they wanted is an opportunity for Nigeria to embrace justice. They cornered it
and balance fairness.
Yes, they cornered it to something else. And now look at what you are seeing now. Nigeria has keep on struggling. They struggle in everything. They struggle in leadership. Then let me tell you, those who are in position of power, political position in this country, are not experiencing what ordinary man are experiencing today. The reason is they only feel the pressure a little bit because of demand from their friends, relations, and business associates, and the villagers and kinsmen and all that. But outside that, they don't know what the man on the street go through every day to survive.
Just like the man who just left now, who came from Ibadan, all the way from Ibadan to Lagos to facilitate with his brother. He said that for the past 1 week, he didn't sell. He's into textile and clothing. But he has to borrow money from his neighbor to make sure he honors or grace the occasion of his brother. You can imagine the reality. Ibadan, this is not just Lagos, which means the hardship, the pain, the agony spreads across
when people like us are saying it, it looks as if we don't know what we are saying.
Exactly.
We are just taking side. These are reality because we are on the street every day. We are on the street every day. I have seen families that are living under 100 naira, 200 naira, 300 naira every day. And as I'm talking to you now, they cannot afford anything to their family when they are going home.
Even in Independence Day.
What are you doing? Are you seeing? I mean, the guy. I thank God somebody from outside came now. You granted the interview. Does it look like anything is happening? But at least by now, if Nigeria is actually advancing or moving forward, he can easily enter any and see people, pushing out food, pushing out everything to the public, trying to create that impression that yes, we have attained nationhood, we have attained unity, we are celebrating justice, we are celebrating our founding fathers, we are celebrating our heroes, we are celebrating even the soldiers, the police, the army that stood in respective places to defend Nigeria. Nobody is doing that. That spirit of patriotism has finally died. So why would you say nobody? As I turn on a good note for you to do a street to street and find out what Tinubu's administration has brought to Nigerians at this moment. It is not something to write home about.
Of course, it's very clear. It's no longer hidden, even as expressed by that young man from Ibadan. He said he expects Tinubu to deliver on his promises that Nigerians are passing the worst difficult time in the history that have never been seen. Of course, that Awolowo, even his footprint could be seen even when he's no more. You see, he started several strong institutions that was established by Awolowo as a leader of the Yoruba movement. But what has Tinubu done for his people?
Yes, when people talk about the antecedents of Awolowo as at that time, I still have reservations over it. Even though to a large extent, I want to celebrate Obafemi Awolowo. For understanding that Nigeria is a fraud, and was able to use his position to put a certain taste on the side of his Yoruba people. But Azikiwe never did anything for any man. Can you cite or point any version that was established by Azikiwe in anywhere in the Biafran land? It's not. You can't take it. It's not there. Yes, sir. But that's what I'm telling you, that different philosophy and orientation and reasoning, they are clashing over unity. So how can you say that there's unity? There's no unity. And when Jonathan wanted to bring that unity in 2014 confirm, you see how it played out. The same people came together and gang up against him and pushed him out. And Nigeria has been riding on that for injustice till today.
Now, how did Nigeria get out of this?
Yes,
whatever is left.
Yes.
How can we get out of it?
Let me tell you, the truth is this: we should renounce anything called Nigeria as a name. That's number one. Divorce Nigeria as a name. Number one. Completely dissolve it. Then we will not sit down as a regional state with nations, Yoruba nation or the Anagos, whatever they want to call themselves, the Arewa nation or whatever they want to call themselves, then the Biafran nation, whatever they want to call themselves, they will now sit on a round table and look at their past records. Not Nigeria that was given by a harlot. That man should not even come closer to us. What is the meaning of Nigeria? That is the first one. Why is our destiny not connected to the name? Look at America. America can point the building of who and why America is named America. Very clear. If you look at the antecedent, you will celebrate America. Look at George Washington. When they talk about the story of George Washington, you will celebrate it. Look at Israel, Washington DC. And look at where Washington DC is situated at the outskirts of America, very close to Colombia. Now look at what America has been doing, because they said in God we trust, because the people have sat down and decided that this is the direction we are going, and God endorsed it.
That is very strong.
And that is how the America has continued to move from glory to glory.
Despite their
because God is God of justice. God is not God of injustice. Nigeria is carrying injustice. Has been carrying injustice. And secondly, look at all these countries that have, be able to get from low life to high life. Look at how they started. They came together. So it's not a matter of I fought for Nigeria. There is rubbish. If Nigeria, did your forefathers call you Nigeria? Was Nigeria born out of hatred? Was Nigeria born out of racism? Let us put this name aside. Okay, look at Ghana. What did they call Ghana before? Ghana changed. A lot of countries have changed their names. It's because of what they are looting. They need to rediscover. Yes, because of what these guys are collecting from Biafra land, from the oil. Everybody is comfortable. Everywhere is oil. Nobody is thinking. No free thinker. Nobody is reasoning. No ideology. No philosophy. Nothing. And the best way to lose Nigeria is that by the time we start reasoning, we bring this reasoning into logic, we bring this reasoning into law, then we begin to say, okay, this is what we are heading to. By the time these three forces, if they actually want to stay together, now come to the round table. That brings us to that point. The truth shall set you free, as expressed in some of the lyrics of the national anthem. O God of creation, help our youth the truth to know. It appears that the truth has been hidden from the youth over this decade. Yes, because for the youth to get it right, for youth to take their destinies in their hands and chart a better way for themselves, they must know the truth. That's why people like us respect Nnamdi Kanu, the man of God there, a knowledgeable man, the artillery leader, a man of different dimension. That's the way. I don't know how to describe a man of an icon. Nnamdi Kanu has become, a man of many parts. That today we are calling that Nnamdi Kanu should be institutionalized for study. Would it be a part of the truth that was discovered by Nnamdi Kanu? No. You see, the thing is this, now because of what the damage or how they feel that people are going to feel, they have refused to tell Nigerians, especially the youth, the truth. And we that have this privilege to stand here today, we cannot to open up on the truth, and that is the truth, whether you like it or not. You understand? I came from a region called Biafra. This man say he come from a region called Yoruba or whatever. Another person say he came from a region called Arewa. So what is wrong with that? No, I'm asking now. What is wrong with that? Of course, you can't discard your identity. Yes, then what? You are forcefully telling me that I must accept a name given to me. Before the white man came here, my forefathers were already in existence. So why can't okay, look at China now. Do you know in some part of China you hardly see Chinese using spoon to eat? So Chinese do not use spoon because they don't want traces of British rule in their system. Why is Africans the jealous? Why is blacks always afraid to take the bull by the horn and say this is who we are? Identity. So that's why I said, okay, but God should also help our youth the truth to know. So how would the youth know the truth? Not these truths that have been taught in the conventional schools. No, that is not the truth. They will tell you that Igbo man don't give him house. Igbo man don't give him room. The Igbo man don't give collect 20 million for one shop. Collect 100 million for 2 rooms. No, how do you connect that? This is not correct. To build a nation where justice and peace shall reign. That is the only way. That is a futuristic statement. Then after, unfortunately, we have not gotten there. Then after that, we will now sit down and choose a name that will be acceptable to everybody.
If that become necessary, it's really necessary. No, if that become necessary, by what that I mean, if the Arewa decides well, they can be better the many Arewa.
Yes, it becomes an option.
Yes, because
nobody is going to stop anybody from breaking away from Nigeria. The system that is not working. How can you keep me in a place that is not working? I decide to stay there, whether good or bad. That is a canic.
My fears.
That is a canic. Nobody is going to accept that. Nobody, not even the Hausas, not even the Yorubas, will accept to sit there in a place that is not working. It's comparing someone to sit there in a place that is not working. It means you don't want good from that person. So if the option is that we sit there and renegotiate the project called Nigeria, then in that negotiation, we will now decide the type of government we are going to have.
I think that should be the major focus now.
Way out
at 63. How do we define the entity called Nigeria and the people that makes up this entity? Because we cannot continue to live in denial and deception and wallowing in endless, of course, abject poverty, stuck in the wheel of motionless and despair. At 63, Nigeria is still crawling while it should be running and enjoying so many privileges, having been break out from the chains and shackles of the colonial masters, but unfortunately are more bound and more, of course, open than ever before. Now, your party was, how can we solve this problem in time? Is it in this generation?
Of course,
or should we, of course, it's not for another generation to start fighting the same party?
It's not a rocket science. It's just the will that is required. The will. The National Assembly can sit down and do it. Call all the stakeholders, all the regional warlords, all the regional lords, all the regional leaders, all the social cultural groups all over Nigeria, all the nationalities in Nigeria for a conference and let them conduct a referendum in that regard. Let us see whether actually these people will say we are moving in this direction. A lot of people are going to reject it. You understand? But if that does not happen, then people should call for an independent separation from Nigeria entity. Those who believe in Nigeria should go for Nigeria, while those who does not believe in Nigeria should be allowed to establish their sovereignty. The US, the Americans, the Israelis, and the United Nations, they should not pretend as if they don't know this truth. That is what they are for, world peace, especially the United Nations. The United Nations is there for world peace. Anything that will bring about peace, that's what we are made to understand. That's what the United Nations is all about. So anything that will promote peace, freedom is part of it. Freedom is part of it. And I believe that the issue of disintegration in Nigeria, in Africa, should be looked into, and the freedom that's being asked for should also be granted or looked into.
And thank you very much on the pattern was. Do you think Tinubu might be the black sheep of the house? Do you think he will be able to fix this already lagging national issues and get us back on the track of national?
Let me tell you the gospel truth. When Tinubu was governor of Lagos State, I go and check the record very well. I did not see anything that he did in Lagos State that is very fantastic. No, go and check it now. What is the project that Tinubu executed in Lagos State that we can point out now? Like Jakonde. We can say, okay, this is what Jakonde did in Lagos State, and we can see those legacies all over. Can you point out one thing that you can credit Tinubu for in Lagos State? What does that teach you? It teaches you that the APC administration, the Tinubu gang up, it was purely a stolen thing, and in that regard, what we have been experiencing is what they call audio government and audio policy. So we are not going to expect much from that government as it stands now. The way Tinubu is going, though a lot of people might say it is too early to start judging, but from what we are saying, I think he hit the wrong button on from the beginning.
Now, just for taking your time, you see, the legal counsel to Tinubu in Chicago's certificate saga said that releasing such documents will cause an irreparable damage to the personality of Tinubu. Now that the court have ruled, of course, any further, of course, appeal on the part of the Tinubu legal counsel, and order the court, Chicago State University, to release the documents to Atiku. Do you foresee the irreparable damage ahead of these events?
You know, when Jonadua came to power, what did Jonadua said? Jonadua said he has a 7-point agenda, 5-point agenda, and one of those agendas was the rule of law. You know, when there is no rule of law, that means anarchy comes in. We begin to see injustice, we begin to see all manner of norms that affects negatively to this to the society. Tinubu ab initio, his identity has been shrouded in secrecy. Everything about his personality has always been questioned, even by a small child in secondary school. They don't know where Tinubu came from. We don't know the school he went to, the secondary school. With everything about him, his paternity is the same thing. People have continued to question this man from when he became the governor of Lagos State to date. You understand what I'm saying? So, for him to have rushed down to appeal Atiku's petition mandating the district court to release his academic credentials, is
State of execution order. But if it were in Nigeria, that would have scared you.
No. Let me tell you, that's what I'm saying. That you see, I keep on saying it. I thought by now maybe the military would have taken over in Nigeria. That's the simple truth. The damage has continued, and the military supposed to know that when a common man on the street is beginning to lose hope, the people's movement becomes imminent. Revolution becomes unavoidable. To them, they might be grooving in whatever contract they are enjoying from the patronage they are enjoying from the federal government. I mean the Nigerian military, without doing the mixing, rescue Nigeria from the damage that is deadly going on. They are there. But people thought by now that we shouldn't be experiencing this kind of a thing. But unfortunately, it is going. I know that God is at work. And secondly, this Tinubu matter need to be settled once and for all. And I want to give credit to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the Waziri of Adamawa, for having gone far to even assist Tinubu himself to unveil him, so that Nigerians will know that this man is a good man or a bad man. So Atiku did not do anything wrong. Atiku did not do anything bad. What Atiku did was to even assist Tinubu, to manage his image that is continued to deteriorate after he was accused of stealing somebody's mandate in the last general election. So the Chicago now has ordered that Tinubu's academic qualifications should be released to the public. What does that mean? It means that Nigerians now will begin to celebrate, whether it is good or bad, that okay, they have been lying against Tinubu. What they are saying about Tinubu is true too. And now matters settles once and for all. Then until the Chicago University releases that result, we believe that there is something wrong. And if there is something wrong, Tinubu is under oath, sworn an oath. And if the oath is sworn, and we will later find out that what he said was totally deception, that is perjury, and he will go to jail. for lying under oath.
In Nigeria or
Yeah, it's not a matter of the court that is coming to say based on technicalities. This one is no longer technicality. No, I'm telling the God's truth. Nobody,
They are also using
pre-election matters. Nobody is going to use this word in this regard because this thing is coming out from a reputable university. Unless you want to put the integrity of Chicago University at stake. So there is a certain provision of the law that allows a matter like this to be accommodated in the Supreme Court. They can still tender it as an exhibit in the Supreme Court. But that notwithstanding, any day, anytime the Chicago finally releases the result, once the result comes out, and we find out that Tinubu's academic credentials does not tally with the one that is in the INEC. Godwin Abobia should impeach him immediately in less than 24 hours. And it's the first trial. No, by the end of Monday, tomorrow, possibly that will be out. About it. You should impeach. Completely. Then Abobia should step in as the acting president or whatever, pending when the Supreme Court will determine what will happen between Obi and Atiku.
If it's impeached, won't the vice take over?
No, there's a joint ticket. They should all go. They are both suspects. They are suspects. So they will face the law. You understand? And once Tinubu is impeached, he will be arrested and kept under DSS custody until the matter faces the law. He should face the law for lying under oath. It's perjury. It's criminality.
Well, depending on the release and whatever.
Yes, the revelation that might be.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course, for the public domain. Tinubu has acknowledged discrepancies in his Chicago results. So what are you talking about? These are not this thing now. Nigerians will carry out a revolution immediately. If they fail to do the needful, then the people's movement will start. You understand? So to save Nigeria from immediate collapse, above you, the Senate should move for the impeachment of Tinubu peacefully, pending when the Supreme Court will determine the case.
Well, we await more exciting moments and days ahead of us, and I believe you may be, of course, much interested in what we are doing. Tomorrow will be far better because we shall be discussing very pertinent and topical issues. I believe you are happy with this development. Thank you, esteemed fans, for your submission. I do appreciate your time and submission. God bless you. Yes, on this note, we wrap it up today, esteemed fans. You can also encourage us by supporting us to continue this program as, of course, service to humanity. This is where we call it a day today, pending on as God spare us tomorrow and the subsequent days ahead. Let's continue to watch as things unfold. We'll continue to keep you abreast with the happenings and the developments down here in Nigeria. We're on the street, of course, getting the unbiased impulse and the opinions of the masses. Coming your way, of course, the Martinez here, bringing you the unbiased representative events and ordinary opportunity to all our sons. Thank you once again for standing in with us all this while, and we hope that the week will spell better things for us. Remain blessed wherever you might be, and have a fantastic weekend. Bye.